Hey guys, we're all back at the table saw, about to do the last little bit of ripping that we need to do before we can step over to the planer. I still need to rip down all the actual stretchers. Because I will do a hybrid style workbench, it's going to have a semi-thick top, probably about 2.5 inches thick. I'm also going to have kind of trestles or supports underneath of the actual bench top itself, kind of like the English joiner's bench. The English joiner's bench is typically made of like thin, 1.5 inch planks, so having like a 3-inch top with trestle style supports, it's not going to be as thick as a Rubo, but it's going to have the sturdiness of a Rubo bench. So I actually do want to make several stretchers and supports. These are going to be about 2.5 inches wide. The last thing that we do need to rip though would be the actual material for the legs and the material for the actual apron. The legs themselves are probably going to be about 3 inches wide, so I'm going to make a couple rips out of that right now, or a couple rips at 3 inches right now. They're going to be laminated as well, so it's going to be 3 inches wide, but because I'm only using 2x material, I have 1.5 inches. So by laminating them, I'm going to have like a 3x3 leg roughly, almost about the thickness of a 4x4. I don't quite have enough material to do them all at 3.5 inches wide, so we're going to go about 3 inches, rip them all down, then glue them all together after we get everything planed down and smooth. The apron itself is going to be about 10, maybe 11 inches wide. I'm probably going to keep it about the width of a full 2x12. I am going to plane it down and get it nice and perfectly flat before I actually attach it to the bench. That's going to be something that we do once we get over to the planer, and I can use my planer slate to make sure everything's perfectly flat on both sides. But right now, one thing I will do with the apron piece though, just kind of take a skin pass on both sides just to make sure that the board is perfectly straight. Another thing that you guys get to see me do here now is kind of stack up all the material. We have the apron, the legs, and then right next to it is all the stretchers and various parts that are going to allow me to connect all the legs and all the joinery and everything else. And then we have all the longer pieces that are going to make up the actual bench top. When I go into the glue up, you guys will actually see how I alternate all the grain. But here's a quick little example. We have grain going vertical, then horizontal, then vertical, then horizontal. It's going to make for a really stable and flat top once I actually go through the glue up process. If you guys have enjoyed this, let me know down below. Leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.